Hi, my name is Cole Reese, and this is my presentation on steak. There are many reasons why I chose steak for my project. Firstly, it is my favorite food that my dad makes. Nothing beats steak, corn, and mashed taters with a glass of milk on a warm summer night. It's also really fun to cook because you can basically do whatever you want to it, and it'll most likely turn out great. Some steak cuts require different styles of preparation, which I'll talk a little bit about later. You can serve almost any kind of side dish with it, including fries, beans, corn, or whatever you want. It's also highly customizable, like I said before, so don't be afraid to try something new with steak. It might just surprise you. Steak is defined as high quality beef taken from the hindquarters of the animal, typically cut into thick slices that are cooked by broiling or frying. While the specific origin of steak is unknown, the steak cut is thought to have been invented in Scandinavia in the 15th century. The word steak is possibly derived from the Old Norse word steikja, which roughly translates to roast. However, on August 10th, 1565, in Florence, Italy, during the feast for St. Lawrence, cuts of meat were roasted on gigantic bonfires and distributed to celebrators. Steak is also culturally relevant to me because my uncle owns a beef cattle farm, which I help on occasionally. Now for some nutritional facts from my favorite cut of steak, the prime rib, specifically a 10-ounce prime rib from Texas Roadhouse. There are 780 calories in the steak, 62 grams of protein, no carbs, and 59 grams of fat. The two highest micronutrients are vitamin B12 and zinc. To answer the question, is steak healthy? Depends on how you interpret the definition of healthy, what kinds of nutrients you need to consume, and the specific cut of the steak. If you don't consume enough protein or fats daily, then this is the perfect food for you. Just how much fat is in the steak is determined by the cut of the steak. If you get a cut of steak like on the left, the fat content will be lower. However, you will sacrifice flavor when you choose a steak that is low in fat. The cut on the right, known as Wagyu filet, is higher in fat and tastes wonderful. Cuts like this are more expensive due to the tedious nature of raising the cow to be as fat and comfortable as possible. There are many different ways to prepare a steak, as I said before. However, we will only look at the two most popular styles, grilling and pan-searing. Grilling is when a steak is laid over an open fire to be cooked. When grilling, marinating or dry seasoning before cooking your steak will enhance its flavor. Less tender cuts are more often grilled. Pan-searing is when you first lay your steak in a very hot pan to sear or scorch the surface of the steak. After 2 to 3 minutes on each side, turn down the heat and place 2 tablespoons of butter along with garlic and fresh herbs in the pan. After the butter begins to melt, use a spoon to scoop the melted butter mixture and dump on the steak until the butter stops bubbling. The butter browns the steak and enhances the flavor of it. And now for my interview of my roommate, Jason.
Hi, my name's Jason, super senior here at UWL, and Cole's roommate.
Sweet. All right. First question for you: why is steak culturally relevant to you?
Third generation beef farmer. Been around beef cattle my entire life. Worked on the farm, and it's just a part of my family's way of living. We get beef from the farm directly. So
Sweet. Second question for you: how often would you say you consume steak?
once or twice a week.
Okay. What is your favorite cut of steak?
Ribeye or T-bone, for sure.
Awesome. How does your family or you yourself normally prepare steak?
My parents grill it. I don't have access to a grill, but I'll do an indoor grill, or sometimes I'll play around with putting it in the oven and stuff, but nothing too fancy.
All right. And last one here for you. What is the best steak you've ever had?
Junior year prom, I had a ribeye at Outback Steakhouse. Yeah, and it was perfect. Like the way it was cooked, medium rare, cooked to perfection. The taste, all the flavor was there, and it just kind of like melted a little bit in my mouth. It's exactly how I needed it to be.
Sweet. Thanks for your time, man.